Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have done a look based on some products that I bought over the weekend. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I went to Sephora for the first time in a month, I believe. So I found a lot of new things that I wanted to try, and I actually bought these two products here. How exciting, the new Nars eyeshadow and the Aqua cream by Makeup Forever. So I just saw them and I thought, you know, that'd be good to make a video on because the colours were beautiful and I really like the products in particular, the consistency, the way they wear. So yeah, this is the look. It's kind of like a smoky contrast eye. Super flattering for all eye shapes. The colours that I used in particular are good on green eyes, but they are beautiful on any other eye out there. So I hope you enjoy this video and I'll get right into it. Ding! So to prep my face, I'm using the Jouer Anti-Aging Moisture Primer, which is basically a water-based hyaluronic primer. So if you have dry skin and you're not a big fan of the silicone primers that kind of increase the longevity of your foundation, you will probably prefer something water-based. I also like the Mercier original foundation primer. That's very nice. The only one that I use really if I want to prolong the wear of my makeup or it's a special event, I use the Hourglass Minimal Primer, which is amazing. It makes any foundation water resistant, so if you're going to be sweating a lot, that is a really good option. But for every day, if I'm just looking for added hydration, I just really love this primer. So I've also discovered a new product this month. This is the Rodial Glam Balm Multi, and think of this as kind of like Elizabeth Arden Hourglass cream, but a lot more oilier and thicker and more emollient, but not in a Vaseline type way. I'll show you on my hand so you can really see the consistency. See, it kind of has more of a creamier, kind of melting texture, kind of like the Eve Lom cleanser. And I love using this particularly for under my eyes because I have kind of small fine lines that can be increasingly worse when I use a concealer, no matter whether it's the most hydrating concealer in the world. I find this really does help my makeup just look a little bit less kind of, what's the word, crepey. So I just like to smooth that around my eyes, and you can use this as a moisture mask if you're taking a long haul flight. You can use it on your lips, and in my opinion it's a lot nicer than the Elizabeth Arden, dare I say. Next I'm going to be mixing the Jouer Luminizing Moisture Tint in Golden and Pearl, kind of because I haven't put self-tanner on my face for a while now, and it's kind of in that in-between stage. It's not tan, but it's not extremely pale. So since the formula of the Jouer Luminizing Moisture Tint is kind of more on the dewier side, a little bit too much for me personally in summer, I do like to set it, and I'm going to use my Universal Invisible Loose Setting Powder by Mercier. This is a new one that I haven't tried. Well, it's not new, but I haven't tried it before. So I'm just setting in the areas that I don't want any shine, which is normally just around the centre of the face. So for concealer, I'm going to revisit my Byterry Touche Veloutee, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this concealer because it's a cream to powder formula. So when you put it on, it feels really nice, but then it dries quite fast into a powder finish. Now, if you have dehydrated or dry under eyes, this is a big no-no. It just makes your eyes look older than they are, and it just kind of breaks up when you produce oil throughout the day, especially in the summertime. Now, since I did apply the Rodial Glam Balm underneath, I'm going to give this another go. This one is actually the lightest colour. I would probably go back and purchase the number 2 for the colour I am now, but I'm going to see if I make this work, because I can go for that kind of under eye highlighted look. So you can kind of bring it down with this, since it is a shade lighter. It feels like it applies a lot nicer actually now that I have kind of a emollient base underneath. So to correct the brightness and kind of bring it to other areas of the face so it just doesn't look like I've got white under eyes, I'm just going to bring a little bit here, the smallest amount, and then just blend it out with the brush, kind of like a fan or an umbrella. So I think out of all the makeup products in the world, one of my favourite things that I keep buying more and more and more of until I have like 20 of the same thing is bronzer. And I picked up this Kevyn Aucoin bronzer a couple of months ago, and I didn't really use it when I first got it, but now have been using it repeatedly. And this is the Tropical Days Warm Bronze. Now, Kevyn Aucoin actually makes a cooler tone version of this and a warmer tone, which I think is very rare for a brand to do, so definitely check it out if you haven't. And when I use this, it definitely gives a shimmer, so it's not a matte bronze, it's going to give you a glow basically. So I use it kind of just in the middle there. And I wouldn't personally use this as a highlighter myself, it's just a little bit too warm. But I do like the way it's kind of a graduate finish. And I just softly go around my hairline. And this is just beautiful if you want a touch of colour, you just want to warm up your skin. It gives a beautiful glow, you don't really need to use any highlighter. It just gives a beautiful texture. So I'm a big fan of that at the moment. So now I'm going to go in with one of the most unloved blush colours I own. I literally have used this twice. I wore this on my 21st birthday and I got my makeup done at Nars and I bought the products, and I think it is really an underrated product. It is beautiful. This is the Nars blush in Luster. Gorgeous warm tone peach with golden freckles, shall we say. It's beautiful. Fair to medium skin tones, obviously use it with a small amount if you're very fair. It's gorgeous for summer. I wish I used it more in summer, and it works beautifully layered over bronzer or layered with bronzer, because it's not one of those artificial pink, dolly pink colours. It's just a warm, flattering, peachy bronzer, peachy blush. Love it. So now I'm just pretty much doing what I always do with my brows, and I may actually do a brow video as well, so whenever I do my tutorials I can kind of separate that video so you can just look, unless it obviously changes again. But I've found a product that I love, the Uemura Hard Formula brow pencil, which I'm really happy with. So I basically just fill in my brows very naturally. Naturally or natural? Who knows? Just quickly setting the brows in place. Let me know if you have a particular favourite brow gel, because I am looking to try some other ones. I have the Makeup Forever Brow Seal, which I quite like. It gets a bit gunky though, to be honest. But I quite like the Anastasia one, so I'm not sure whether to repurchase it or to stick with it. Let me know what you guys like. So I'm going to be using a transition shade for the eye. And I like to use matte transitional shades just so everything is nicely graduated, and rather than just, you know, just stopping here and blending, it's nice to have a shadow blend into a more neutral shade. So I'm just applying that in the sockets, really leaving kind of a gap on the brow bone. So while I was in Sephora the other day, I came across the new Nars eyeshadows, and I swatched them and I instantly fell in love. They kind of have this duochrome quality to them and they blend so beautifully, so I just had to pick one up. And I got this really nice purple shade. This is called Desdemona. Is that right? Yeah, Desdemona. So I'm going to be using that today, and I'm going to do what we like to call it in the makeup industry a smoky contrast, meaning like kind of like a sandwich smoky eye. So I'm doing a light in the middle and a light underneath, and I wouldn't say a darker colour but a deeper colour just in between. So I'm going to begin using the gorgeous duochrome shadow, and I'm just pressing that into the corners. So I'm just softly building up the colour just above the crease. And then I'm going to take a little bit more and I'm going to go on the inner corner, but be really careful not to get any here, because then you'll kind of make your eyes a little bit smaller and you'll create more of a shadow rather than a contrast. So I'm just placing it on the inner corner. And then slightly blending up. Then I'm just going to take the shadow and kind of build a little bridge across the contrast. So now I'm taking a clean blending brush and I'm just softly diffusing any colour. Then I'm also going over with the brush that we used for the neutral shade, just to bring back the neutral tones, because with shadows, you add a shadow, the other shadow becomes less. So you kind of have to keep going back and forth, and you'll see what I mean when you do it more often, especially mixing two shades together. So I always like to go back in with the first shade I used. Okay, so now moving on to the exciting part. While I was at Sephora, obviously I didn't buy one thing because that never happens. I picked up the Makeup Forever Aqua creams, which I've always wanted to use, and I'm a big fan of cream shadows, but like I mentioned in my previous video, they really do crease unless they're waterproof. So I wanted to try this because it's crease proof and waterproof. As you can see on that eye, it hasn't creased at all. So I wanted to pick one up, and I actually got the shade number 16 because I wanted to use it with this eyeshadow, and I think it was a really good pick. I've experimented with this a couple of times. I did when I went to the Makeup Forever Academy to do a course there, so I did try them before, but I found the best way to use them is with your fingers, because with a brush it doesn't really evenly distribute the product, no matter whether you use a natural or synthetic brush, which I recommend synthetic. So it's best to use your fingers. Keep in mind, because it's waterproof, it dries very fast. You can't really layer it over the top because it kind of makes it a bit bitty, if that makes sense. So I just like to go with my finger and just tap, literally. Try not to kind of move it around too much, because that's when it gets a little bit strange. So now I'm basically going to do what I did on the top to the bottom. So I'm taking the lighter metallic Aqua cream on a Nars smudge brush, and I'm literally just placing it underneath. Then I'm taking the Nars shadow with a smaller brush, and I'm basically just going to fill in the gaps with the shadow. So I'm just going to tightline my eyes with a bit of an unusual combination. This is actually kind of like an olive green shade, and I just thought it'd look gorgeous with the purple. Make my eyes pop, give a little bit of definition. So I'm just tightlining the top, which I really am bad at filming this, and it looks kind of like I'm poking myself in the eye. So now I'm just going to lightly curl my lashes, ready for my falsies. So I'm also going to be applying another product that I bought from Sephora. Oops. This is the Clinique High Impact Mascara that I've heard a ton of YouTubers talk about. Becca Rose talks about it. Everyone talks about it, and I wanted to try it. So let's give it a go, shall we? Let's see what it can do. I think I tried this the other day, but it's a really good mascara. Even if you have crap lashes, it's a good mascara. I'm going to be applying that on the bottom too. Ooh, I like it. What do you think? It's very black. So while I wait for the lash glue to dry, which presumably takes forever, I'm going to move on to lips, and I'm going to do kind of just a straight up pink lip. Who doesn't love a pink lip? Starting off with lip liner using my NYX or NYX lip liner in Sand Pink. Whoa, I love it. So to clean up the lash line, just to add a very small amount of definition, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Aqua Black, and this is amazing if you're looking for, have I got lipstick in my teeth? No, I haven't. If you're looking for a black liner for your tie line that doesn't transfer or budge, and a waterproof line that's long wear, glossy and black, it's just beautiful. So I'm going to take that. So I guess this brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this, something a little bit different from me. Let me know if you have any requests below, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.